Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this really cute crushed glass Christmas tree on canvas using Mod Podge and water instead of resin. So stay tuned and I'm going to show you how to make it. Alright y'all, before we get started on this craft, I want to show you how I set up my little workstation. And this is how I set up when I'm pouring resin. So I highly encourage you to set it up the same way, even though we're not going to be using resin, we're using Mod Podge in this particular video. But anyway, I'm just putting down some paper towels. Let's adjust my light here. Put down some paper towels. That's just to protect your table. And then I'm going to have this cooling rack. And you can get these at Walmart, you know, just cooling cookies and cakes and whatnot. That's all that is. Okay, put that there. Now we're going to be using a canvas. Now this canvas is an 8 by 16 and I got it at Hobby Lobby. It says $7.99. It was on sale, okay? I don't pay a full price for anything if I can help it. But I like this brand, this Master's Touch brand, because the canvas is nice and thick. So let me take the plastic off. We'll talk about that. The thicker canvases, as you can see, it can hold a little bit of weight. When you're pouring resin, resin can get kind of heavy, right? And so the inside, the center of your canvas can sink down. Now with Mod Podge, you really don't have that problem. But I wanted to put that out there anyway, so that you would know why I really do suggest using a good quality canvas, okay? So here we are. And now we're going to flip it over. Now this is just painter's tape. Y'all seen me use painter's tape a gazillion times on this channel for various things. Why do I use painter's tape on this? Well, when we're going to use Mod Podge, and when you pour it on, when it runs over the edges of your canvas, it's going to drip a little bit, okay? And if you don't tape off the back, when you're done, you're going to have like all these little drip marks. If you pour resin, then you know what I'm talking about. But you have all these little drip marks. And if you can put down a line of painter's tape just right along the edge here, that protects the back of the canvas from those drips, okay? And so I'm just going to put a line here and all the way around. All right, so I have the back side taped. And you see, I kind of leave like a little tab on one corner. I didn't leave it all the way around because it just gets in the way. I don't like it. I just leave like one little tab so that when you start to peel this off, once everything has hardened up, it just gives you something easy to grab onto and pull it like that. These first few minutes of preparation can really save you a lot of aggravation in the long run. So that's why I highly encourage you to just take the time and do it. All right, so now decide what color you want for your background. I'm going to use gray. This is Steel Gray from Folk Art. It's a matte, but it's okay. Once we get the Mod Podge on, everything's going to be shiny. So I'm just going to squirt some of this on here, and we're going to paint the entire canvas this color, okay? Let's get it on there. I can go over the edges too if you like. I highly suggest that. So I'm just going to paint the entire canvas, and then we're going to let this layer dry, and I want to come back. I'm going to go over it with another color to add just a few highlights. But right now we're just going to paint the whole entire thing your main color. All right, I think this is mostly dry. The lighting is terrible in here. I got a lot going on right now. But anyway, now we're going to go over it with this metallic paint here. Just going to kind of brush a little bit of that on. Like I said, I don't think that this is all the way dry, but it's okay. It's okay. Just going to kind of put a little bit of this on because I don't want the whole thing to be sparkly. I want it to be kind of streaky. If that makes any kind of sense. Kind of beachy, I guess. So I'm just going to go over the entire canvas like this with this paint here. Then you got to let that dry before we do anything else, okay? You have to make sure that your paint is absolutely dry before we move on after this step, okay? Okay, so now what I have here, some starfish, armored starfish, and these little pieces of wood here. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and get one of these out that we're going to use for the star at the top of our tree. There's a few different sizes in here. And these came from Hobby Lobby, but Michael's has them as well. Oh my gosh, I can't even get the bag open. Here we go. Let's take a look at this big one here. Now this is not completely dried, so I don't really want to press that down. Let's see. I like that big starfish there. But pick out whatever size of starfish that you want for the top. And then we're going to use a few of these pieces here. And this is going to be for the trunk. Now we're going to fasten these to the canvas with some hot glue. This paint has not dried completely yet, but we're going to be using some hot glue to sort of make the base of our tree, and that is going to sort of help you to eyeball where to place everything else, okay? Because I didn't do that before. My tree came out slightly crooked, but it's okay, it's okay. And my fly buddy is back. You can see him. So you just pick whichever one of these that you want. Use 1 or 2, use 3, use however many you want. And we're going to kind of decide, I think maybe just 2 will be absolutely fine. And then we're going to pick the size of starfish, and then we're going to add just a few little painted highlights. Okay, these flies are making me angry, but you know what? Y'all heard me say this tons of times before. I do live right beside a cow pasture, like just right here. It's on the other side of this fence out here. So anytime you open the windows, you're going to get a fly. And no, I don't like screens on my windows. I don't like the way it looks. But anyway, I measured between the 2 corners here to find the center of the canvas, okay? And then I just made a little mark and a little mark just to help me, you know, get things centered. So this starfish here, he looks pretty symmetrical. So I'm going to put the point of him right at this little mark that I made. So I'm not really gonna paint anything on them right now. I just want to get it glued down. Okay. Just use some hot glue here. I'm just going to stick that down and hold that just for a second or 2. That should be good. All right. So now we're going to glue these down. Down here at the bottom, like I said, this is going to serve as the base of our tree. Okay. And we'll put it right here. I don't want it completely at the bottom of the canvas. Okay. Not completely, because we're going to put some sand and stuff down here in a little bit. Just gluing these pieces. Let's see. Do I want that there? I guess I'll be all right. Just kind of gluing these pieces down. All right. Now that these are glued down, what do I have here? I have some water. I have some water and I have some Mod Podge. This needs to be the gloss Mod Podge, okay? It's going to make it shiny. So what you want to do is, for every amount of water you have, add in an equal amount of Mod Podge. So let's say if you have a 1/4 cup of water, you use a 1/4 cup of Mod Podge. Mix it half and half. Now, if you use the Mod Podge straight as it is, you see how thick it is? It is not going to be able to get down in between the pieces of glass that we're using. It's not going to work right, okay? So you need to mix it down. So I'm just going to pour this in here and give it a good stir. Okay, so I have my Mod Podge mixed up over here. And let's take a look. You see how watery that is? It is still going to give you plenty of hold. It's just going to be thinned down quite a bit, okay? So now what we have is a variety of things. A lot of people use crushed glass. And the crushed glass, it can cut you. So if you drop a piece and you have kids or animals, I don't like using that if I can get away with it. So I use these little glass pebbles. Once again, this is from Hobby Lobby, but wherever anybody or any store that carries like mosaic supplies, stuff like that, I believe, Michael's and all that. Anyway, like I said, got this on sale, but these are little smooth pebbles so that if you touch it or if you step on it or if like a dog's paw or something steps on it, it's not going to cut them, okay? I have that in green. And then I also have some of these little glass pebbles. They are red. Have some of these seashells. And then I also have some sand down here. We're going to use the sand here in a little bit. But anyway, let me go ahead and cut this open. So basically what we're going to be doing is just painting our Mod Podge on the canvas. Well, drizzling it is what we're going to be doing. And then we're just going to sprinkle some of this on here and just get everything into place. Make a Christmas tree shape, and then just drizzle on more Mod Podge. It's pretty easy. That's why I have all the paper towels. Now on my table, y'all know on my table, I have it covered with like shelf liner paper. So I'm not real concerned about getting things on the table. But I just like to put that out there anyway. So I'm just going to pour some on here. And this is why I tell you to use the gloss Mod Podge, okay? Now don't worry if you don't get your pebbles all on top of the Mod Podge, because we're going to be putting more on top. And it's all going to hold together. I know you're probably thinking, well, that glass is heavy, the Mod Podge ain't going to hold it. Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will. And now just every now and again, you're going to take one of the red ones. Just kind of wiggle it down in there wherever you want it. Don't worry about your glass pieces getting everywhere. Because you're going to take, you can use popsicle stick, you can use a glue stick, you can use the handle of a paintbrush, whatever you have. And just push them back into place. Okay, so I'm going to work on this just for a second, and then we'll come back and we'll see what I've got. Okay. See, I wanted to show y'all what I'm using here. I'm just using a piece of cardboard. See, you just kind of just place them however you want them, like so. Okay, and then just form it into a Christmas tree shape. All right, now that we've got our basic Christmas tree shape down, now I have this sand. This is light brown. Use whatever color you want. This, again, came from Hobby Lobby. Just put some more Mod Podge here. Just sprinkling it, pouring it, however you want to call it, on the bottom. Just kind of spread it out with your spoon, like so. And then you just sprinkle on your sand. And also, I have some of these little seashells. Now, the Mod Podge should hold these seashells on very well. They're not very heavy, so you shouldn't really have to glue these down. Mod Podge, like I said, should be just fine. So I'm just going to take a few of these tiny little shells and just put here and there, and then we're going to sprinkle on sand. Okay, now the shells are on. Just going to sprinkle on the sand here. Now with your Mod Podge, we're going to be putting on a few coats of that Mod Podge, okay? So when you're not using it, what you need to do is just cover your cup with a piece of plastic wrap or something. You know, just cover it up so that it doesn't dry out on you. Because once you get this on here and this layer of Mod Podge kind of sets up just a little bit, you're going to be sprinkling on more, okay? Just get that on there. All right. Now I'm going to let this sit here and dry. I don't know, I'm going to get about 30 minutes. And then while that is sitting there, I'm going to take, I have this, let's see, I have some gold too. I think maybe the gold will look good with the sand. So now let's take this gold paint and I'll add just a few little highlights to the star up here. And while that's setting up, we can do that. Let's see, where's my brush? Right here. Okay, so then just kind of add some highlights here and there. And then after your Mod Podge sets up, knock off just a little bit of the extra sand, okay? Because you don't want a whole bunch of the sand piled up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. But anyway, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now this is not dry. You can see that there's still some white spots. But when this all does dry, it's going to be clear, okay? So now, I'm just going to take some more. And you're just going to put it on top. Because like I said, once it dries, it's going to be clear. I'm going to say that a few times. Your seashells down here, because I was just telling somebody what I was making. Are you sure those seashells are going to stay? If you're worried about your seashells down here on the bottom, by all means, hot glue them down before you use your Mod Podge and sand, okay? I'm just going to pour this on. And I'm going to do that over the whole piece, okay? This Mod Podge is going to just kind of seal everything in, and it's going to add a good amount of shine. And then once it's all dry, like I said, it'll be all clear, and it'll look nice. It'll look nice. Trust the process. Just trust the process. Okay, so this is several hours later, and everything is dried. See how all of the little crystals are stuck down, or pieces of glass, rather, are all stuck down. This was the coat that you saw me pour over it, and then I'll let that dry, and then I poured on another very thin coat. Let that dry. Now, you can keep building up the coats of Mod Podge and water. You can just keep building it up as much as you want, you know, to get however glossy look you want. Let's see, this might be a little stuck. Let me see. There we go. But as you can see, it is very, very glossy. I'll probably put a few more coats because I want it to like really shine and look like glass. So I'll probably put a few more coats on, but yeah, this is what we have. And the seashells are on there. I need to go back. You see right here, I need to fill that in with just a little bit of sand. I think I bumped it or something because I was in here cleaning when I was making it. But anyway, this is what we have. Now what you do, how to hang it. You can prop it up against a wall, or if you don't want to do that, and if you want to hang it, you know, like those little sawtooth hangers, you can get them at Walmart. It's over in the hardware section where you can find nails and, you know, things to picture hanger kits over in that section. And you'll find like these little sawtooth hangers, and you just take a hammer and nail it into the back of your canvas if you want to. Oh, there's a gnat. However you want to hang it. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would, please give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media, links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I will see y'all next time. Bye. And here we go. This is the finished product. As you can see, I went back and I added a little bit more sand and a few more seashells and a few more layers of the Mod Podge and water. Hope you liked it. Bye.